Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Today's class will focus on strength and mobility, really trying to find a way to not lose our mobility and our strength in the long term, since they are very important for our daily lives. So we'll start in a seated position. You can sit in Virasana as I am, for example, with a block below your glutes. That usually help if the pose is not comfortable. And then simply stay tall and with your spine straight. You can close your eyes here and make sure that your shoulders are stacked on top of your sitting bones in your hips. And find your regular breath here for just a second before entering into our asana work. In today's class, we'll really work to stay strong and mobile. And you can do this practice as many times as you wish. It integrates perfectly with functional movement, with your gym work, with running. Take some breaths and first of all, thank your body for showing up on the mat today. That's the first step and the most important one, to create commitment, and then commitment brings repetition, and with repetition you may get a revelation in the long run. And once you find your breath, with long inhales and long exhale, slowly open your eyes and let's begin. So we'll start today into a fold. So make sure you find the correct distance between your feet, which is usually measured by using two fists in between the arches of your feet. Then bring your fingertips in front of you and slowly fold. So when you fold, make sure you're bending your knees even a lot so that you create a contact between your abdomen and your thighs. And once you're there, simply let the gravity do the work. Release your head heavy towards the floor and simply breathe here. Then what you could do is press the floor away with your feet. Try to lengthen the back of your legs. So you don't want your legs to be super straight. You always want to create a micro bend in your legs in order to facilitate the contact of your abdomen with your legs. And simply stay here, finding the two direction. So the press of your feet into the floor, extending the back of your legs. Drop the head heavy towards the floor. Then you can interlace both hands behind you and draw them in front of you. And then you can release that. Bring your hands back to the floor. Find yourself in a squat, chair pose. And inhale, come all the way up. And even enarch your back a little. And then again, you fold back. As we begun, your arms move backwards. Interlace your fingers. And then release into a hang, into a forward fold. We'll do this a couple of times. Inhale, come back to a squat, chair pose. Press your feet to go all the way up with both hands towards the sky. Enarch your back a little bit and then come back to a fold. And then one last time. And release, exhale, forward fold. Grab opposite hands with opposite elbows above your head and simply stay here for a couple of breaths. And then bring your fingertips in front of you and directly step back into a downward facing dog. Beautiful. So you can pedal a bit your dog here to stretch one calf, then the other, extending one leg, and then the other. Then inhale, move forward into a plank, and exhale, find the dog. Inhale, plank, and then find downward facing dog with your knees bent, of course. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. One more. Then inhale, step the left foot in between your hands, and draw the right heel towards the floor so that you have a 45-degree angles, so you can find the 45-degree angles with your back foot. And then what I'll ask you to do is really to place your hand below your heel, your left hand below your left heel, and from here bring your right hand on top of your sitting bones, on top of your sacrum, and open twist towards the right. So your left leg is bent, your left elbow is pushing towards your left leg while your right leg is straight. And from here you can even bring your right hand and arm towards the sky, or even in front of you, creating, a straight line between your right hand and your right foot. And then bring it back. Take out the left hand from the left foot and step back into downward dog. Nice. You can pedal it a bit, and then we'll move to the other side. So inhale, right foot in between your hands. Make sure that you place your right hand below your right heel. Scoop the left heel back to the mat, finding a 45-degree angle, and then from here we open towards the left. At first, your left hand is on your sacrum, then you can bring your hand up to allow for even a deeper twist. And if your body is okay with it, you can also bring your left arm in a diagonal shape. Your gaze goes forward in front of you. And then release. Step back into a downward dog. Walk a bit your dog here. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step the left foot in between your hands. This time you can stay on the ball of your right foot, and you will bring both hands towards 2 o'clock. Okay? And from here you can also drop into your forearms. If this is not available for you, you can place blocks below your right thighs, or you can simply bring your right knee to the floor and your right foot to the floor. Otherwise, you can stay up for locust pose here, and you can even move forward and back a little bit, or simply stay still. Make sure that your abdomen is activated, that you're not collapsing on your forearms, but that your legs are doing a good part of the work. Good. Now release. Nice. Your right knee and your right foot to the floor. You can walk back with your hands. Fantastic. And then from here, open up your left foot towards 10 o'clock. You can stay with your right hand on your fingertips, and then from here, bring your left hand to the right knee, and you can even open a bit your left knee towards the left, and by doing so, stretching the psoas on the right side of your body.
If your body allows it, you can bend the right knee and then grab it with your left hand with a twist. And you can kick your feet, you can kick your foot backwards so that this allows for even a better opening of your chest and allowing a better twist towards the left. Exhale, slowly release and step back into a downward facing dog. Take a long inhale through the nose here and a loud exhale through the mouth. Another one. And then step the right foot in between your hands. Good. So now bring your hands towards the left, towards 10 o'clock. You bend the right knee at a 90-degree angle, so you can stay like this. You can even place your left knee to the ground and you can come into your forearms. So when you come into your forearms, the important thing is that your right knee is not collapsing towards the right. Make sure it's pointing forward, and then you can also stay in the full locust pose, meaning with your left knee elevated. All right. So you're really working with your legs muscles, with your forearms as well, but make sure you're not collapsing either on your forearms, of course. And you can stay here for a little more. Don't forget to breathe. And finally, the left leg towards the floor. Make sure that you're staying on your fingertips with the left hand. Open up your right foot towards 2 o'clock. And with your right hand, you can also open up your knees towards the right. Make sure that you can even come lower with your hips and sitting bones towards the front of the mat. Fantastic. So if you need a block, you can place a block below your hands, especially the left one, of course, in this case. And then if this is accessible for you, you can bend the left knee and then grab the left ankle with your right hand. Nice. And then back to center. Tuck your left toe, step back the right foot, come back into downward dog, walk a bit your dog here, then find stillness, inhale plank, exhale dog, inhale upward facing dog, and exhale downward facing dog. Beautiful. So this time inhale and step the right knee just behind the right wrist in order to make sure we can find high pigeon. So to do so, make sure you're staying with your left foot activated on the ground. You can stay on the fingertips in front of you, okay, or you can stay on your hands. It's really up to you, but really want to make sure that the chest and the upper torso, it's really high, okay? So we'll move towards the ground later, but in this first variation of pigeon, really want to make it active. So make sure, important, that your right foot is active. So this is how you really will control your right knee and make sure you do not get injured. And then simply look forward, draw your attention to your hips, make sure they're both pointing forward. If not, you can either rotate, your hips through your glutes in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Usually in this case is clockwise. So make sure that your left hip comes forward and the right hips come backwards. That's usually the movement we do in this side. And then from here we can release the left foot, and slowly, if this is available for you, you can come onto your forearms. First of all, stay here for a couple of breaths. And then you can even bring your foreheads to the ground. Otherwise, you can stay in the other variations, that's totally fine. Inhale, look forward. Come back with your hands towards your knees, and then step back into a downward dog. And then come to the other side, so this time with your left knee just below your left wrist. Move backwards with your right foot, but make sure it stays active in this first part. So the left foot stays active. This time you can see it from the camera. And really make sure you pay attention to the stretch in your psoas, the direction of your hips forward, the opening of your chest, and your gaze goes forward as well. If this is not accessible, of course, you can use blocks or props below your perineum, below your glutes as well. Then release your right foot, and you can move into your forearms. And then perhaps onto your forehead. Inhale, look forward, come back to a downward dog, pedal a bit your dog here, then extend the right leg towards the sky, bend your right knee, make sure that your right heel and foot go towards the left in order to open up the right side of the body, and simply stay here for a couple of breaths. And then slowly coming to a plank and bring the right knee just behind the right elbow, and then press it back up, and then plank and bring the right knee below your left elbow, and then once again up, and then bring your leg down, and then the other side. So elevate your left leg, bend the left knee, draw your left foot towards the right, and open up your left side of the body. Make sure you breathe here. Then bring it up. Inhale, left knee to the left elbow. Bring it back up. Left knee, right elbow. Bring it back up and then down. Good. Downward dog. Pedal your dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Bring your knees to the ground. Make sure now you're sitting on your heels. Bring your hands to the sides, and from there, bring your weight back in order to make a massage for the shell of your feet. If this is not accessible, you can do also one leg at a time, perhaps. Otherwise, you can stay here, or you can place also your hands on top of your knees. Just stay here a couple of breaths. I know it's a bit of a torture, but your feet will definitely like it. It's not a movement that we do every day. And then back to seated. You can actually sit down with your feet in front of you. Bring both feet towards your sitting bones. Then you can make sure that your feet are touching one another, and we can come into a boat pose. Okay? So first of all, with your legs parallel to the ground, make sure that your arms are straight in front of you, and only if you have this possibility in terms of range of motion, really come into a full pose. Make sure that your gaze is upward, and then bring it back. Half boat pose, and then once again, and then feet to the floor, and slowly, one vertebra at a time, come with your entire back to your mat. Open your legs, open your arms to the sides. Take a deep breath here. Now bring both feet towards your glutes. Press the floor away with your feet. Grab opposite hands just below your sitting bones. And then tuck your shoulders in and elevate your pubis and your hips towards the sky. For bridge pose, make sure you're really planting your hands to the ground, creating a contrast that helps you elevate even more your hips. And then exhale, release slowly your entire back to the floor. Bring the right knee towards your chest. Bring your right foot just on top of the left knee, and then with both hands you can grab the left knee here. So make sure that your right foot is active here. This is really important in order to avoid to injure your right knee. And once you did so, you can pull a little bit, you can push a little bit your left knee towards your chest. Gently, of course. Then release, and we'll do the other side. Again, this time is the left foot which will be active and on top of the right knee. In this figure 4 stretch. Then release. Good. So bring both feet wide to the sides for Shavasana. Today we'll close the practice with Shavasana. So open up your arms with your palms of your hands facing upwards. Simply release your entire body, and if this pose is not comfortable for your lower back, what you can do is place blankets or blocks just below your quads or your knees. This will help a lot. Otherwise, simply release everything down, heavy, using the gravity, the force of gravity in order to really release each single muscles of yours to the ground. From your feet to your head. And sometimes we think we've released everything, but there are some spots we are missing, as the space within our eyebrows, which is perhaps contracted, and we can bring our attention there to release it, or our jaws, contracting our tongue or our teeth perhaps, or even our eyes. Or sometimes it's our abdomen, our abs, or sometimes it's our quads, one of our biggest muscles. So make sure you really do a tour of your entire body and check out what's completely released and relaxed and what's still active or in a flight or fight mode. And make sure you're breathing at your own personal breathing rhythm. There is nothing to worry about here. Try to draw your attention to the present moment. Whatever thing you were doing earlier or you have to do later on during the day, that has nothing to do with the present moment. You're conscious in a body, you practice yoga, and now you're relaxing and releasing your entire body to the floor. If you have any thought coming up to your mind, it's totally normal. You can see them coming from east, materializing. You can check them out from a distance as if you were the spectator in a theater, and then see them disappearing towards the right. So you're not really grasping them or attaching to them. You're just a spectator. You're not your mind, you're not your thoughts, and you're not the body. You're pure consciousness behind all of those things. And if you have any time left for the practice, maybe 5, 10, or 15 minutes, I strongly suggest you to really relax here in Shavasana. You can even meditate by listening to the sound of your breath. Otherwise, I'll leave you here. And thanks guys for practicing with me today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of your feedbacks and comments to make those practices always better. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't already, and I'll see you soon in the next classes. Namaste. Ciao.